And welcome back to One-on-One. I'm Martin Folse. As promised, our guest tonight is Amy Lasserre Benoit. There she is, right there, and her trademark is her hat. But of course, we couldn't let her wear it tonight because it hits the back of the chair. So we're going to go without the hat until the end of the show. I'm going to let you wear the hat. But first of all, welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me, Martin. I'm very honored that you called me.
Anytime. Well, you deserve it. I've known you for several years now. We did a charity commercial together. We did some things together, but your store was always popping. It was always active. There are a lot of people in there shopping. What gave you the idea along the way that you wanted to be a success story in the candle business? Where did that all come from?
I used to cut hair, and I had a customer that came in every other week, and he knew I was always looking for successful ways, you know, to advance in life instead of just living check to check. And a lot of people used to laugh at me, "Oh Lord, what Amy's up to now," you know. And so he asked me, and I said, out of my mouth popped out, "Candles. Everybody loves a good smell." And he was like, "I like that." So he went home and he talked to his wife, and I know his wife, and she said, "No, you're crazy." So he came back, you know, a couple times, and I wasn't trying to steal the idea I gave him, so God eventually told me, "Hey, that's for you." You know, we always pray and ask God for things, and a lot of times we don't realize He's talking to us, and we just need to listen to our inner conscience, because that's really God talking to us.
How long did it take you to kick this candle thing around before you made your first candle?
I test marketed about 6 months, and making candles and seeing, you know, getting the best quality that I could find, and it just took off. I mean,
so you were cutting hair and making candles.
I cut hair. After I eventually opened up, I started doing candle parties, which we started that again, and it went crazy. Everybody wanted to do a candle party because they got free stuff. Even men was doing them, you know, and it was just left and right. I had 20 candle parties going on at 1 week, and I started doing craft shows, and it got to be so overwhelming that I opened up 7 stores in 1 year. So
that's incredible.
Yeah.
When did you know that, hey, I might have something here? When did you get that feeling?
Kind of right away. Okay. You know, it just was awesome. It just, you know, with the quality that I have, you know, there's no other in the world. My formulas, the wax, you can't get that anywhere else, you know, and so we have the best.
Yeah. So
and it shows, you know, customers from all over the world leave testimonies, and they have to have, it's like a fiend. They have a fiend, just like if you got a bad habit smoking cigarettes or whatever, they call and say, "I need my fiend now."
Nobody else has the formula, what you do. I'm a guy, so I'm gonna ask the typical stupid guy question. We all think candles are the same.
No.
And now explain to me what makes candles different, and how you came up with your own formula that became so successful.
Well, I tested different, you know, recipes on the market, and trials and errors, and I just happened to, God blessed me. You know, this is a God thing, and you know, He just put the right formulas for me, and it's been a success.
But you had a knack. God doesn't just put something on somebody, and they have to have some kind of idea that they may be good at it. So creating. And
actually, He gave me that too. That all came because I used to be a hairdresser, and I loved cutting hair. It just, you know, I was living check to check, and I just wanted better than that for me and my family, you know. And
how long after you started making the candles did you do well enough to where you could quit cutting hair?
I actually was scared because, like, I didn't spend none of the money, you know. I just kept reinvesting, and I actually didn't borrow any money neither. You know, I went by the principles in the Bible, and I didn't borrow a dollar. But I charged $2,500 on my credit card, and God showed me what to do, and I didn't spend no money the first year, and I kept cutting hair, and I worked all night. I didn't get no sleep. I still don't have sleep, so if I got bags under my eyes, that's why. But I work all the time.
Yeah. When did you get that? I guess we always say workaholic, and a lot of us who do work a lot of hours relate to other people who work a lot of hours, but was this always your nature, or did you just work yourself into that?
At 13, I was trying to babysit, and 14, babysit. And at 15, I was at Burger King, and I could not wait to get to that window. You know, if they'd have kept, at 15, they had a rule where you had to be 16, so I got laid off, and I was depressed. But I probably would have ended up running the whole, I'd have been a DM for Burger King, because whatever I do 100% plus, you know. And
is it more that you want to succeed, or is it more that you don't want to fail?
You do fail, because I failed along the route. I've tried some things that, you know, my customers used to laugh at me. Oh, what she's doing now? What that crazy girl's doing now, you know? But failure equals success, you know? If you fail, get up again and try something else.
When I walked in your mall store and we shot the commercial for charity, like I said, there were candles all over, it was well presented. When did you get the eye to put the store together? Because as we all know, if you present it wrong, it could crumble.
Right.
But it was a comfortable setting, but a very classy setting. Where did you get that type of talent?
Shabby
to put
chic kind of look?
Yeah.
It came to me. I know you might be like, keep saying God, but God really gave it to me. And of course I would always go to someone that had wisdom and ask them questions. I wouldn't go ask somebody else what's your opinion that don't know anything, you know what I'm saying? So I always look to find wisdom.
What's the best advice anybody gave you?
I used to listen to like 4 to 5 positive CDs a day with different preachers and different, you know, things like that. And they got a lot of wisdom, and I would take it from there, you know. And even starting out with Pastor Dwayne's church, he had a lot of wisdom that I learned from him. And, you know, all the secrets to everything comes out of the Bible. It's our inheritance. God gave us that inheritance. So the more you know, the more you can take off and use it, you know.
Everything you're relating to has a spiritual side to it. When did you start relying on the spirituality of your life to get you through or to get you where you're going?
Well, at one point I didn't really know God like I wanted to, you know, and just wasn't enough for me. I wanted to know more. So I just kind of, you know, started branching out, and that's when I found Pastor Dwayne's church, and then I listened to a lot of Joel Osteen and just different preachers. You'd be amazed at the different, you know, wisdom that comes from some of these people, you know, and a lot of even self-help that comes straight from the Bible too, and it's all good, you know. And I try to put positive in me instead of negative, even though sometimes I get negative and I realize I got to back away from what's causing me negative, you know. So I like to look for people that has wisdom to hang around with, which I don't hang around too much because I'm always working, but you know.
What year did you start making the candles?
1999.
All right. So right around the turn of the century,
yes,
you decided, let me jump out. Take me back and tell me, how much anxiety did you have making that move?
I wasn't scared at all, because I had a divine intervention with God, you know, and I didn't know it was going to be the candles. And when I had an intervention, you know, I don't know if everybody has that with God, but I did, and I knew He wanted me to bless and help His people, you know, especially the orphans. And I told Him, I promise you, I'll do whatever I can, and that's when I knew.
What's the best-selling candle, bar none, that you've sold over the years?
Amy's Vanilla Sugar Cookie, and that's number 2. That's in the marking that they call in from all over the world, because the Ritz-Carlton burns my gardenia candle exclusively, and the people that goes to the Ritz-Carlton is unbelievable, and we're shipping that every day. They're ordering gardenia. And I have to make this suggestion. You sure you don't want to try? You don't want to try our best seller, which is vanilla sugar cookie? You know, and they do, but they love the gardenia. Have you ever been in there? It creates this ambiance that's just unbelievable.
I love a gardenia smell. There's no doubt about it. So you said something about #2 seller of all time, the sugar cookie one, vanilla.
No, vanilla sugar cookie.
Is it #2 worldwide?
#1 worldwide.
Okay. Wow. That's so.
I could just probably be in business selling that. But
how
of course,
many different flavors or fragrances
fragrance.
do you make?
We had up to 50, and sometimes more is just, you know, you got to make cutbacks sometimes because it's a lot to produce, you know, and it costs a lot to make the different ones. And
you're making good money, but you're also buying products from other people, so it's a chain of events that take place before your candle ends up on the center of somebody's table.
It's a process. You know, a lot of people that, you know, everybody wants to work in the factory headquarters, and when they come, they just can't get over like how much is involved. They really thought it was just so simple just to make a candle, but it's a process.
So when you're picking a fragrance and you're sitting there and you're going, all right, it's vanilla sugar cookie. I think that'll be a good fragrance. I'm sure there have been some along the way where you smelled the fragrance and went, no way, but then other people might have loved it.
The gardenia.
Okay, so you put the
They
gardenia
called me
up.
2005, right after Hurricane Katrina hit and my late husband died, and I was bedridden, but you know, they wanted to talk to me, and of course I wanted to talk to them. And they wanted gardenia, and I'm like, you sure you don't want vanilla sugar cookie? It's really good. And they're like, no, we want your gardenia. So, you know, that's how that came about.
They wanted that powerful smell.
And when you walk in there, the ambiance it creates for their hotel is just beautiful.
Yeah. How calculated is all this? Do you have a black book that's under your desk somewhere where you go, gardenia, 2 drops of this, 3 drops of that? I mean, how calculated is this?
Oh, we have our formulas, you know, and
sort of like the Kentucky Fried Chicken formula, right?
Yeah, actually, when Eric Paulson interviewed me, he compared me to Popeye's fried chicken.
Okay. Did you ever think 15 years later that you'd be sitting here and doing interviews here and doing them with Eric Paulson and talking about Amy's Country Candles? You hoped, huh?
Well, I think you called me years ago, but I was scared. I didn't want to be on TV. You know, I'm kind of humble, and you know, the first time I actually had some money to spend, because I mean, I had, you know, they used to laugh at me because, you know, I would carry my 2-liter around in my truck, and I would just get a cup of ice when I went through the drive-thru somewhere, because I was very, what you call it?
You were frugal.
I was very frugal, but I had a game plan, and I knew what I wanted, and I knew that you just have to make cutbacks, and you know.
You got sick along the way.
Yeah.
And by most normal people's standards, it'd have been the end. They'd have shut down. But you found a way to fight through it, found a way to keep going. Where'd you get this strength?
God. I just believe that God can heal me, and He has. And I still have the symptoms, but that's going to go away too.
Yeah. And there were many nights, I'm sure you sat there going, where will I find the energy?
I cried. Because it's like the brain, when, you know, you build something like this, this is your baby, you know, and my doctor told me she disabled me in 2010, so I've been sick since then, and, you know, today I feel great, and I had to cancel. We've been trying to do this since December, so I do have a lot of bad days, but it's just really...
For the audience out there, what's the official name of the disease in case somebody out there
I see painful bladder syndrome. They have no idea what causes it. The doctors are not really familiar with it. Luckily, I was able to find a specialist after about 8 months of suffering, and unfortunately she retired, but at least I know, you know, I'm getting the right treatment. There is no cure, just like there's no cure for Crohn's, there's no cure for cancer, there's just no cure. And unfortunately, my doctor told me I had the worst case scenario she ever saw. Because at first I dropped 50 pounds and I was able to gain some weight back. So,
Was there ever a point after you dove in and started making money, being successful, that you said, I'm getting too big now?
No, because I'm always in the, I pass and I'm like, ooh, that'd make a good store. And, I talked to that accountant. She said, when the bigger you get, the less money you make. And she might have had a point on that, because your cost of goods is so much, But even being sick, right now, we're fixing to open up at the Riverwalk and the Spanish Villa Plaza. And, there's so many places I want to be in. And, my body says you can't do it. My brain's like, what are you talking about?
Any one fragrance that sticks out that people might have loved besides the vanilla sugar cookie?
They love a lot. I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't like every single scent I have.
Right.
And if I went with that, I wouldn't be in business, because some of them I just don't like.
Yeah.
And I came out with my new Swamp Man line and my Cajun Man, and they sell them pretty good. And I got a chic line, I call it chick, I guess, because we Cajuns, I got Cajun chick, glamour chick, country chick, city chick, and they all smell really good, and they really starting to take off. And actually, I had someone, begging me for my new Mardi Gras scent, and it's like, we normally wouldn't carry that throughout the year, but being on the internet, it might be something that, across the world that they might want. And I thought that was a good, I don't know if you tried it or if any of my customers tried the Mardi Gras Mambo, but it is to die for.
Now, do you find, see, I'm a guy that likes the bland kind of smells. Don't put anything floral around me.
Right.
Because my throat will close up, my eyes will water. Are most guys like that? Or it just, every individual would be different?
Everyone's different. And at first everybody used to say, well, you just got men clients. No, I got men clients. They said I just had women clients, and it's like, no, I have a lot of men clients. And I remember we had a problem for Christmas time one year, when you sell more than what, it's really hard to, Christmas is a hard thing, because, you can either make too much or you don't make enough. And I was redecorating in one of my stores in New Orleans, and we was running out of our famous vanilla sugar cookie. And this man walked in, and I said, I'm gonna try to push something else on him. And I showed him something else, and he goes, oh no, I came here for my cookies. I want my cookies. I need my fix. So it's like, there's a lot of people that just is the best sugar cookie around,
Well, that's gotta make you proud when they walk in and you created it and they want it.
It kind of upsets me sometimes, because, I named it Vanilla Sugar Cookie, and all these other companies are now naming their stuff Vanilla Sugar Cookie. And I don't like to, I like to develop my own ideas.
Well, this is Amy's Vanilla Sugar
I had to put the Amy in front of it to let people know that, this is me.
Right.
And
the formulas never changed.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Throughout the years, people say, oh, she did something. No. What happens is, a lot of times people get immune to the same smell, so they have to change around, and then when they come back to it again, their nose is more potent to smell it again.
Do you have to sometimes pinch yourself and say, man, I did something that took off pretty good?
Yeah, like at first, I'm not gonna lie to you, I didn't pay myself for a year, and I still maintained cutting hair. And I didn't know how I was gonna tell my customers, because I love my hair clients. It was, you become family. And I stayed working a whole year, and I still had the money coming in, but I just wanted to make sure. I was scared. But I remember going shopping my first Christmas, and I spent $700 in Christmas ornaments. And I mean, coming from, the background, I just was like, I just felt so guilty, because there's families that really needed to, needed that money. I just have a very, very soft heart.
Yeah.
I just couldn't see spending it at first, but I got used to it.
Yeah, good for you. But at the same time, you've helped a lot of charities, a lot of orphans along the way. Why did you do that? You didn't have to do that. Why did you?
Because that's what God demands in the Bible. He says, there's two things, and I think it's James 5:12. Don't quote me, but if you're looking it up, you know, he demands us to take care of the widows and the orphans. That's the two things he asks us for.